All right, great. Well, good morning, everyone. Today, I am going to talk about the keys to making digital content work for you. And I'm Todd Stickland, your presenter. I'm an account executive with Overdrive for the Sora reading platform. So today's learning objectives, we're going to learn why digital content can have a deeper impact on K-12 learning, as well as find out what you should know or what you should consider when choosing digital content solutions. There's so much out there. And then also discover tips and strategies for using ebooks and audiobooks to increase student engagement. And then at the end, we'll open it up for some questions. So let's talk about Sora. What is Sora? Well, the way I like to put it is Sora's the best way for students to access your school's digital collection. It's a cloud-based solution, so it's accessible via web browser or any smart device. So let's consider why digital content can have a deeper impact on K-12 student learning. And why digital? Well, it supports students' development of 21st century skills and prepares them for higher education, the workforce, and much more. It also is a way to stretch your budget with multiple lending models and adopt titles you use year to year. And obviously since it is digital, there's no damage, there's no lost or stolen materials to replace. And everything's stored in the cloud. So there's no transportation or cleaning or storage required of print books. And then access on a short notice and very easily. So with Sora, it's always available 24/7, no matter where you are. The progress of if you use a web browser to start reading some content and you go someplace else and you log in on another device, the progression, your activity is synced between all devices. So where you left off on one book and open it up on another device, you're able to start where you left off. So we also support curriculum or independent reading, choice reading. And like I mentioned a minute ago, it syncs titles across devices and downloads to read offline. Sora is integrated with the majority of the most popular LMS systems that are out there. This is just a few that we have listed right here. And deep linking. So deep linking is the ability to copy a URL and place that deep link on your website or your school's website, in any kind of emails as well. And it takes that person right to the title. So there's a lot of different learning tools that are also available within Sora. For instance, you can highlight notes and highlight paragraphs, and it saves them. Even if the book is turned in, the notes and highlights are actually kept within that Sora account associated with that particular user. And they can export that and even export it to Google Drive. So again, direct integration with common curriculum management systems, exportable notes, in-app definitions, and Google Translate. And it also, which is really important, it keeps data, reading stats. So it's going to let you know where students, how much time they're spending in the titles, when they open it up, how long they are reading per session, and much more. There's also 10 languages available. So the user interface has the capability of switching between 10 different languages. And then with Sora, just for signing up and being a partner of Overdrive, we have a partnership with the majority of the public libraries across the United States. This will allow your district to have access to your local public library's digital content without the need of a library card. So whatever credentials you're currently using, or whatever credentials the students are currently using, those are the same credentials that they would use to log in to Sora to gain access to the public library content. So it's a single sign-on. So let's take a look how it works. So students your students can add their local library if they do have a card too. So in addition to the normal Public Library Connect, and then everything's streamlined right through the Sora user interface. So the digital content from the public library, any digital content that the district or school has purchased on their own, and then just for being a partner of Overdrive and using Sora, you'll have what we call our Sora Starter program. And you'll have access to, it fluctuates between 280 to 300 free digital copies or content of a mixture of ebooks and audiobooks. And just a quick note, Sora, the platform itself is free. It's not a subscription-based solution, so there's no monthly subscription fee or annual charge for it. No implementation. We don't charge for implementation. That's a free service as well. So let's take a look at class set rentals. It's another way to stretch the dollar. So this is perfect for high volume, temporary required reading needs, as well as titles. These titles can't be lost, damaged, or stolen. And quick, fast access to these books. If you want to get access, say for a class set you need in an hour, you can go right to the marketplace, purchase that class set and have it assigned to the students in your class, and it will be ready to go within typically about 30, 40 minutes. The other thing that's really great about the class rental model is that you can assign these titles directly to the student. So when a student actually logs into their Sora, it will take them right to their assigned reads. They can't miss it. They can't say they left it. They don't have the content to read. So this is just showing you a little schematic of how easy it is. So this is the marketplace, where the marketplace is a backdoor portal to Sora. This gives you access to all the digital content. There's millions of titles from, again, ebooks, audiobooks, narrated follow-alongs. But this shows you how easy it is to assign titles. And when you assign that a title, it's going to show up in the Sora app under assignments. So you can look at leveraging the power of insights of reporting. So with Sora, it does capture data, captures what each individual student is actually doing inside of Sora. So what they're borrowing, what they're reading, how long they're reading, how long they're reading each time, and it gives you an average out, right? We're looking to try to get that 20 minutes per day per student. So we can see, and it also gives you real-time, so it gives you real-time student data, right? Gain insights about usage and trends, which I was just explaining. And it can be a guide to help with intervention strategies, maybe for that struggling reader. And then it also can help you with your purchase decisions. You know, you can see what's popular. Do you need more of that particular digital content? So there's a few things that you should really look at when choosing a digital content solution. So you want to look at the catalog size, right? Overdrive has the largest digital catalog available from thousands of publishers. We support instructional, independent, and professional development. LOTE titles for ESL and bilingual students. And there's also unique formats that appeals to more students of all ages and abilities. So you have your audiobooks, your read-alongs, and your graphic novels. So we also have a marketing kit. So it helps our educators to promote Sora across not only with fellow educators, but also across the district with the students. So there's a resource center that has these downloadable documents for social media graphics and marketing kits, community outreach materials, how-to videos and training kits, as well as curated lists for recommended reading. So we also have our own, like I say, in-house librarians. Our content specialists are available for you to talk to on a one-on-one basis. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. They are licensed librarians, and they really know what they do. A lot of things go over my head, and when it comes to that part, I just bring them in and let them take care of their specialty. but they are best at they can help you handpick the best titles for your collection. They really can. So, with the collections, you have your state award titles, popular reading, subject-based title lists like ELA and STEM, social studies, as well as diverse reads and more. So we also have a lot of different ways to train. We have self-paced training. We have live webinars on a monthly basis. And we have on-demand webinars too. Full in-depth demos of the marketplace where all the digital content's held, as well as Sora. And we're happy to do one-on-one custom training as well as maybe part of a professional development or a launch or kickoff to get everyone up to par with training. We also have in the Resource Center some lesson plans. So these are just some examples of some of the lesson plans that are ready-made for our educators. So let's talk about purchasing options. There's a few different purchasing options that are available. These are all dictated by the publishers, not Overdrive. So you have your one copy, one user, which these titles are borrowed by one user at a time. And they never expire from the collection. That is your copy for eternity, forever. Then you have metered access. These titles are borrowed by one user at a time, and they are usually metered by time or amount of checkouts, or they're metered by time and checkouts, so both. Then you have your cost per circ or CPC. So those titles are borrowed simultaneously until the budget runs out. And you pay only when the title is actually borrowed. So in this instance, what schools can have or do is give more selection for students to pick and choose, and then the school or the district is only charged if and only if those books are borrowed. Then you have your sim use, or your simultaneous use. These titles are simultaneously borrowed at the same time. Usually expire at their set time. Obviously, the Project Gutenberg titles will never expire. And then we have class sets or on demand. So those titles are rented for a specific set of users for predetermined length of time. And those titles are automatically checked out on a chosen start date. And just for being a partner of Overdrive and using Sora, you'll have access to our no-cost content. It's typically between 280 and 300 pieces of digital content, ebooks and audiobooks mixture, and that's just to get you started. Our content specialists will keep that fresh a couple times a year just to refresh those free titles and free digital content, just for being a partner of Overdrive. So let's talk about tips and strategies for using ebooks and audiobooks to increase student engagement. So simultaneous access to content in virtual book clubs. So right now going on, there's our Sora Sweet Reads, which started in May 5th and goes through August 20th. And that's additional free digital content that's available for our partners to help promoting reading over the summer. So our curated collections help foster reading choice and voices. It makes it easier for the students to gain access to additional options of choice reads. And then the other great thing is to show your students how to personalize their reading so they can have their own customized experience, from open to selected font, high contrast. We want to read at night. You can see here the dark mode. There's screen reader support. And obviously, we also talked about the reading data and insights to monitor how often they're reading. Multilingual interface and adjustable text sizes, fonts, and audio settings. And we can also help you to promote Sora with reading activities, from scavenger hunts, right? With basic and advanced versions available, and summer reading with Sora bingo cards as well. Sora also has a gamifications built within it. A lot of students like games, right? They're always fiddling around. I know my sons are always playing around with their smart devices, and they like to play games. So there's a gamification aspect to it. And with this, students can set goals And when they attain those goals, they earn badges. One of our partners came up with a great idea. She did a virtual book tasting. So Southwest Educational Development Center in Utah, media specialist Chris Hott helped make reading fun with her students with a virtual book tasting. So reaching your readers, school or school district reading competition. So Overdrive supports district and school-wide reading competitions. So typically the competitions will last about a month, but the schools can dictate how long they want those programs to run. And you can contact your account manager or myself to assist with the data tracking. And Overdrive is often able to provide prizes for the winning schools. So there's three main ways for the winner of the competition. Now, the largest percentage increase in unique users, or most time spent reading, or the highest average checkouts per student. So it's a great way to keep the students involved. So I just wanted to give you a quick little insight on how to use digital to get your readers reading more. I don't have the winner as of yet, but I do want to open the floor for questions. So if you could, feel free to type in the chat. Okay. Yes, I can share the slides at the end here, Sarah. Looks like thanks, Judy, for answering that question. And yes, you can. There's an integration with Clever. Okay. And so what we will do to choose a winner of the free t-shirt, it looks like we have about 20 folks on here. If we can have Gustavo, I believe you're the moderator today, you can pick a number between 1 and 20. Gustavo says 2. Okay. Judy is my sidekick today from Overdrive, the event specialist. So hopefully she can go in and okay. And we'll announce the winner. Oh, that would be great, Sarah, if you would like to open it up even more. Oh, I see the question. It says, you wrote, would the competition work if the student is checking out books with their own library card? If they take their library card and you can add additional libraries in Sora with their own library card, and the checkouts and notations and everything else, yes, all of that information is still housed within Sora.
Hi, Todd. I'm kind of the de facto moderator. This is Sarah Barnes with WBNet. I was just logging on to say if anybody wants to participate verbally, I can easily add you to the conversation.
And then, okay, so how would the competition work then? Are you asking, Sophie, are you asking, it wouldn't track anything in regards to physical books. This is all for digital.
Hi, so I guess I know that we use OneDrive and not OneDrive, Overdrive and Sora in my school, and I'm not the librarian, and my librarian's not with me today, so I guess
Stephanie, so depending on the local library for your if it's school, if the school resides in the residing public libraries area, then that's typically the PLC Connect. If that library has opted in to allow Overdrive to give access to the public library digital content via Sora, then there's no need for a library card at all. No, the students don't require a library card for the public library or PLC, the Public Library Connect. If the student has an additional library card for other libraries around the area, state, or out of state, they can connect to that library using the library card's number, and it's usually a PIN number associated with it. Hopefully that answers your question. Great questions, though. Very good questions. I was just thinking to get started with Sora itself, if you're not familiar with it, or if you haven't used it in your school, your district, it's really simple to get up and going. There's a dedicated website I can include in an email if you'd like. It's just about 10 questions. You go through this hyperlink, sign up, enter some information, and from there we take it from there. It takes about 3 to 5 days for us to build out the platform and get everything implemented for you. But we can have you up and running in a matter of days. And then in regards to launching, we assist you from start to finish with promoting Sora across your district or your school. We help with the training. We have one-off sessions and one-on-one. We definitely make sure we know what your goals are. So we put a plan of action and work with you to attain those goals. And so we have on staff, we have our content specialists, which I mentioned a little bit ago. Those are our in-house librarians. They are great for answering questions, helping to assist building your own collections. You have myself, as an account executive. What I do is I help to build that collection and quote out and assist with budget guidance on that side. Then you also have a dedicated account manager that's there for you on the day-to-day operations. We have a really solid IT support team, which is your product specialist. His name's actually Zach. He's a great gentleman, very responsive and on top of everything. So. Yeah, Sarah, I'd be happy. Sarah and Sophie, I'd be happy to, set up a time meeting later this week or even later today if you'd like. Have some available time. I can send you my information or get my information off of the screen here. You can shoot me a note, and I'd be happy to have a one-on-one session with you. and talk a little bit more about Sora. You're welcome, Sophie. West Virginia Reads collection is available to all students. I believe so, but I need to double check on that, and I will let you know. But I believe it is. Oh, if you know you can get it, then yes. Yes, so that would be just through the PLC Connect. Because I know with a few other states, I know every state's a little different, but I know like Tennessee Reads, that's available to all the students as well. So. One of the things too I'd like to add is in regards to the marketplace. I did touch on it briefly during the presentation, but the marketplace is where the majority of the educators or administrators will spend most of their time, more so than Sora. The reason being is that's where all the content lives. That's where all the digital ebooks, the ebooks, the audiobooks, the narrated follow-alongs. That's where all of that content lives. So you're able to explore and build carts. That you can build a wish list and say, okay, here's what I would like, and then get the approval to make that purchase option. It also gives you the ability to do not only build and curate your own list, but weed out titles, maybe from a collection that's provided for free through Overdrive. You can weed titles there, and then it's also where you would do your class assignments, where you assign the titles specifically to those students that you want to read that particular digital content. Let's make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Okay.
Todd, I wanted to say if people don't have questions right now,
if there's no additional questions, I want to say thank you for your time. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk a little bit about Sora and how it can benefit you and your students and your district. You can also contact us.
Would be a good time to
you can follow us on social media or join, take your camera, take a picture of the Join Live product walkthrough. We hold those actually every day. You know what, Sarah? I cannot hear when other people are talking.
Okay, that explains a lot. I was just telling the audience that they could go to the expo if they would like to talk to you further.
Oh, yeah. See if I got something off here. Yeah, I can't hear anything, unfortunately. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, it sounds good. Thank you again for your time, and feel free to reach out for any questions. I'd be happy to answer those for you.